Hi guys, hope everybody's doing well. Hope everyone had a wonderful Purim. I wanted to begin now Perek Tet Vav in Shmuel Bet. Before we begin, let's start with Yudalid. Yudalid was a transitional Perek. We changed from Avshalom was hiding, he ran away, to Geshur, and the last half of the Perek we learned that he came back. He came back to Yerushalayim. Yoav insisted. David said yes. He didn't see David for another 2 years while he was in Yerushalayim. Finally, he sees him. They embrace and they kiss. At the end, we discussed, what do you think that was? Is that meaningful? Was that not meaningful? We'll learn a little bit more what at least Avshalom felt about that now. Vahime acharei chen, haya acharei hasipur shel David, pigishat David ve'Avshalom. Vayas lo Avshalom merkava v'susim. Avshalom made for himself a bunch of chariots and horses. V'chamishim ish ratzim lefanav. There were 50 men that were running, or following, or running after him. What does that mean? What's going on over here? What is the significance of the fact that he has horses? V'hishkim pasuk bet Avshalom v'amad al yad derech hashar. Avshalom would get up every morning and would stand by the gate. V'hi kol ha'ish asher yelo riv lavo el hamelach lamishpat. And every single person that had a fight would go to the king for judgment. David was not only the king, he was also a judge. But before they would get to him, Vayikra Avshalom elav vayomer, Amy ze'irata. Avshalom would go to them and say, "Hey, where are you from, buddy, my friend? Vayomer me'achat shiftei Yisrael avdecha. I'm from Zvulun. I'm from Dan, from Naphtali." And Avshalom would make conversation with him. Just keep it in mind, what do we already know about Avshalom from the previous Perek that helps these conversations happen? Pasuk Gimel. Vayomer elav Avshalom, v'rei devrecha tovim u'nechochim, v'shamea ein lacham eit hamelach. Avshalom turns to both parties and says, I see that your words are good and clear. You both have very, sound right. However, v'shomea ein lecha me'et hamelach. There's no one that's going to help you from the king. David's too busy. He'll listen, but he's not a great listener. Vayomer, pasuk daled, Avshalom, mi simeni shofei pa'aretz, v'alai yavo kol ish asher yelo riv u'mishpat hitzaktiv. Avshalom says, if only somebody would make me a judge in the land, and it would be on me to adjudicate all these cases of anyone that has a fight, and I would take care of them. I'd make, give proper judgment. Pasuk Hey. Vayad bikrav ish lishtachavo lo, v'shalach et yado v'hichzik lo v'nashak lo. Before people would come close, they would bow to him, they would put in his hand, and he would grab their hand, hold their hand, and kiss it. What's Avshalom doing? We'll stop and we'll talk about it. What is he doing? Vayas Avshalom kadavar hazeh l'cho Yisrael asher yavou lamishpat. Avshalom did this l'chol ish v'ish miYisrael shehalchu kidei sheDavid yashafet beinehem. Avshalom swept in there before David could make it. She'avoid l'mishpat el hamelach v'yiganev Avshalom et leiv anshe Yisrael. Right there. That says it all. What was Avshalom doing? Stealing the hearts of the Jewish people. Pasuk Aleph through Vav discuss how Avshalom is beginning to gain the trust of the people, the Jewish people. That David is old. David doesn't have time for them. Come to me, I'm the man, not David. So let's see what happens next. Vahi miketza arba'im shana, pasuk zayin. Vayomer Avshalom el hamelach. 40 years later. 40 years later of what? Check out Rashi. Vayomer Avshalom el hamelach. El chana vashalem et nidri asher nadarti lashem bechevron. Avshalom says to David, now that we're buds again, now that we're okay, I made a neder to Hashem in Chevron, so I need to pay back my neder. So, and he explains, Ki neder nadar avdecha, your servant made a neder, bivshi b'geshur ba'aram lemor, when I was in Geshur for those 3 years, im yashuv yishiveni Hashem Yishlayim, v'vadati et Hashem. If I will return to Yerushalayim, if you, David, lets me return to Yerushalayim, I will serve God. Vayomer lo hamelach, and David said, Lech b'shalom, go b'shalom v'yakam v'lech chavrona. He doesn't say what he's going to do, but David allowed him, go ahead, go b'shalom, go in peace, le-chevron. Okay, so 40 years later, Avshalom, is he telling the truth? Is this a lie? Unclear. We have to look at the Mefarshim. What does he have to do in Chevron? Vayishlach Avshalom miraglim b'chol shiftei Yisrael lemor. Avshalom sent spies throughout all of Israel, saying, Kishamachem et kol hashofar ve'amartem malach Avshalom b'Chevron. Avshalom sent out spies through all of Israel, saying, when you hear the sound of the shofar, you go ahead and you tell everybody to make the declaration that Avshalom is now king in Chevron. Vet Avshalom halchu 200 ish miyushalayim, kru'im v'holchim l'tumam v'lo yadu kol davar. Now Avshalom had 200 men come with him to Yerushalayim, walking with him back. And what happens? Vayishlach Avshalom et Achitofel Giloni yoetz David me'iro miyilo b'savchot ezvachim v'yakesher amitz v'am holech v'rav et Avshalom. Avshalom now is beginning a rebellion against David. He's gaining support of the people. And not only support of the people, but David's people. Achitofel. Achitofel is David's chief advisor. And now he changed sides. Pasuk Gimel. Vayevo hamagid al David lemor. A messenger came to David to tell him, Hayalev ish Yisrael acharei Avshalom. Guys, if you remember, just a few prakim earlier, it said that the Jewish people were in love with David. The lave of the Jewish people was with David HaMelech. And now, 5 prakim later, is a messenger telling David, the lave of the Jewish people is after Avshalom. What happens? Yudalet. Vayomer David l'chol avadav asher ito b'Yerushalayim. David now tells all his people in Yerushalayim, because just picture it. Avshalom's coming to Yerushalayim from Chevron with 200 men, and David's in his palace, and he hears this happening. So he turns to all his people. Kuma v'nivracha ki lo tieh lanu pleita mipnei Avshalom. I know my son, he's crazy. We have to leave the palace. Everyone get out. Maharula lechet. Pen yimaher v'hisiganu v'hidiach aleno et hara'ah. Lest he finds us, catches us, and the ra'ah happens to us. And we end up in war. I won't let that happen to my Yerushalayim. Vayomer Avdai Melech al Melech. Kechol asher yivchar Adoni HaMelech hinei avadacha. His servants say to him, we're with you. David, whatever you want, we are with you. And just imagine how terrible this is. What a terrible scene this is. David, who worked his entire life just to build up Yerushalayim, is now being exiled out of Yerushalayim, because of his own son. 3 more psukim. Vayetze hamelech chol beito begraglav. David leaves his home biraglav. Think about what that means, biraglav. We'll discuss that. Vayazov hamelech et eser nashim pilakshim lishmar habayit. David leaves, and he leaves his 10 pilakshim to watch the house. Vayetze melech chol am biraglav vayamdu beit hamerchak. And they all leave. Everybody in the house leaves, and they stand at a place called Beit HaMerchak. We'll see what that means also. We'll discuss that. Very unclear. It sounds like the house from far. V'chol avadav al yado. V'chol hakreti v'chol hapleti. All the kreti and the pleti. We discussed that way back when in Perek Zion. V'chol hagitim sheish me'ot ish. And all the people from Gat, 600 men. Everybody is leaving, and they're passing by David one at a time. What a terrible scene. One at a time, passing by David HaMelech. Okay, we will stop here for today. Have a wonderful day, and we will discuss.